So 2024 marks a pretty special anniversary in the life of the clinic. It's now been 30 years since we have founded the clinic.
In 1994, the Natural Resources Defense Council, together with the Santa Monica Baykeeper, which is a brand new organization, approached UCLA School of Law to see if the law school would be interested in starting an environmental law clinic. And they brought with them Dan Emmett, who has continued to play an incredibly important role at UCLA in establishing the Emmett Institute on Climate Change and the Environment. One of the things that's been really interesting to watch over the course of 30 years is really two things. One, new environmental issues emerge. And of course, in 1994, even though we knew it was happening, climate change wasn't really on the radar of a lot of lawyers, scientists, government policymakers, and certainly not on the minds of students. That has changed completely. A second thing that has happened is that we have so much student interest now in pursuing careers in environmental law.
The idea behind the clinic was really twofold. First, we wanted to improve legal education by providing students an opportunity to work hands-on. And the second real idea behind the clinic was to help improve and support the capacity of local community groups and nonprofits to achieve their environmental goals, to work for the enforcement of environmental laws and for environmental protection.
When I started in 1994, we might have one or two students who was interested in pursuing an environmental career. Today every year we have a huge number of students who sign up when they come to UCLA Law School for our environmental law specialization. More students who add the specialization as they study at UCLA School of Law, and many, many more students who take classes so that they can learn about environmental issues, including, of course, the biggest environmental issue we face, which is climate change.
I was interested in the clinic because I always knew I wanted to go into environmental law for my career path, but I didn't want to leave law school without any type of practical experience in the environmental field. So I thought the clinic would be a great way to do some real-world projects that contribute to environmental causes and meet some of the organizations that are doing that great work.
I worked with Surfrider Foundation. They wanted us to put together a briefing booklet for Congress on plastics and single-use plastics in particular. We actually had the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. and present our findings. We actually had a panel with Representative Alan Lowenthal where we were speaking to a group of staffers and representatives about our conclusions and what we thought the best solution would be.
At the clinic, I worked on a project with Earth Justice, and it was really based on the Oakland coal terminal and sort of looking at issues related to that. And we did both an objective memo and like a petition relating to the coal terminals.
My project was to write a letter for our client NRDC that would be given to Supervisor Holly Mitchell describing potential avenues for phasing out oil drilling in the Inglewood oil field.
Representing a real-world client for the first time, it was incredibly nerve-wracking at first. But as the semester progressed, and thanks to the close supervision of the incredibly talented instructors within the clinic, it really made me feel like I was doing real work as an environmental lawyer in training.
One of my favorite things about teaching in the clinic is really watching students come into their own as advocates in this space. And it's fun to see students begin to put together the lessons that they've learned theoretically in the classroom in order to help real people.
I was also privileged to be able to be a fellow at the Emmett Institute and was able to co-teach the Frank G. Wells Environmental Law Clinic while I was a fellow, and it was really amazing to be able to be on the other side of that work and see how much the students benefited from being able to work with real-world clients and help assist them in their personal growth and journey as they worked on these projects with clients.
Among our clinic alums, we have appellate justices, we have national nonprofit environmental leaders, we have folks leading government agencies working on environmental protection policy. We even have an international climate negotiator working on the international scene to improve climate international treaties. So it's really a wide range of graduates out in the world, and it's sort of fun to think about what their spheres of influence are.
I just was given so many opportunities, from working on negotiations and going to the COP in Madrid and witnessing firsthand what it is like for every single country to come together and discuss climate change. I think the breadth and span of opportunities that I got, both ranging from lobbying and legislative work to regulatory work to litigation, really helped inform my decisions and where I wanted to go with my career after graduating.
Several students actually told me that this was the highlight of their law school career.
Going into my third year because of the clinic, and also just a stronger lawyer, someone who's able to kind of pick up things a lot quicker than I would have been able to without the clinic.
Professor Cara Horowitz and Professor Julia Stein, and their leadership was really impactful on me. They're still longtime mentors. They brought a lot of real-world experience to their classroom. Both of them had practiced law, which sometimes in a law school setting is not always the case.
Giving our students an opportunity to work on cases that involve cutting-edge environmental issues is really, really important. And I can't think of a better place to do it than in the city of Los Angeles.
When I look back on the 30 years since the clinic was founded, part of what I think about is, of course, hopefully, the influence that all of our individual projects have had on the communities with whom we've worked hand in hand over the years. But even more so, it's pretty mind-boggling to think about the generations now of law students who have come through the clinic, who've learned to be hopefully fierce advocates, zealous advocates on behalf of their clients, and are now out in the world making it a better place.